Yeah, it's the hashtag AskMattCovert section. Ask me anything you want on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Yes, I've revamped my Instagram account. A new Instagram campaign. It's all very exciting. Ask me anything you want on those 3 platforms. So, Rich has asked me, I like your tire temperatures method. People are telling me it's not working. It's a silly idea. I should just chalk my tires. What do I do? Interesting. Let's talk about it. So the tire temperature method that he's talking about is something that I've been going on about for a while now. There's several videos about it on the website, but I'm going to tell you exactly what it is right here. And this is not something I made up. I got this from a bunch of pro racers. Okay, this tire temperature method is awesome, right? This is the bottom section of a tire, okay, from the front or rear looking at it, all right? After each time you go out for a run, or a lap on the track, whatever, your tires are going to heat up, okay? So, what you want to do is you want to take 3 temperature readings across the bottom of a tire. Why would you do that? Why not just take 1? I'm going to show you why, alright? This is how you can tell if you have the proper tire pressures or not. So, for example, let's say, let me just make a drawing here, okay? If you come in and you have pressure like, or tire temperatures that look like this, let's say you have say you have 80 degrees, and then 100 degrees, and then 80 degrees, okay? You know that the center of the tire is producing more heat because there's more friction there, okay? The outside of the tires aren't touching the driving surface as much because the tire has been bowed or overinflated around the circumference, okay? So you have a higher tire temperature in the middle. Well, that's an indication that this tire is overpressurized, all right? And as a general rule, you can usually say that a tire is, in this case, overinflated by about 5 degrees per pound of air pressure. That's right, okay? So theoretically, this tire is roughly 4 pounds overinflated. It's a good starting point. It's not always the same, okay? Likewise, let's look at a tire that has temperatures that look like this, okay? Let's say the outsides are 100 degrees and the inside is 80 degrees. Well, now you know the tire is underinflated. Why? Because when a tire is underinflated, the center of the tire tends to rise up because the bottom shoulders have bulged out. So this is an indicator that the tire needs more air. And if we're looking at these numbers, we would say that, well, this tire could probably use about 4 pounds just based on the same scale that we used before, all right? So this is a really great starting point to see where your tire pressures are at, okay? This is also a great way you can tune tires for camber as well. I know we talked in a previous video, we talked about the benefits of camber or not, okay? Well, you know that if you have positive camber, which is when the front or the top of the tire is tilted inward, that's positive camber, you automatically know that this part of the tire inside is going to be hotter just to the way it is riding down the surface, okay? So if you have positive camber going and you come out with readings that are 90, 80, and 80, you know that you can probably get a little bit more camber in there if you've got the adjustment, okay? You should look for increments in, and these are all just generalities, but you should look, a good camber setup would be roughly a 10-degree decrease per tire temperature measurement across. So you'd be looking for 190 and 80. That's optimal. It's not always going to work out that way, but it's a good starting point, okay? Another great thing you can do with tire temperatures is you can actually look at the balance of your car, okay? Let's look at all 4 tires from an aerial view, okay? Right. So let's say that we're taking these all these 3 measurements across each of these tires and we're averaging them, okay? So let's say that and we'll only show one number, the average of these tires, okay? So let's say that this front is 120. Let's say they're both 120. And then here we have 80s in the back, okay? Well, this is indicative of not only maybe a tuning issue, but a driver issue. It's very obvious that the front end of the car is doing more work than the rear of the car. Okay, a car that's in neutral steer, which is when all 4 tires are doing equal amounts of work during a corner, okay, those tire temperatures will be pretty close. I would say within 20 degrees of each other, depending on what type of your car you're driving, all right? So this is an indication that you can either make some type of sway bar adjustment and maybe bring more grip to the rear, okay? Or you may just not be driving the car hard enough, or maybe you're braking too late and causing a ton of understeer, okay? Again, these are all generalities, but they are great places to start, all right? So for those people telling you that taking all these tire temperatures is a bad idea, they obviously don't know what they're talking about, okay? If all they're doing is putting chalk marks on the side of the car and seeing how far the shoulder rolls over, there's almost no information you can gain from that, okay? You can get into a very, very general sense of what's happening with the tire, but you cannot look at one shoulder of the tire and make assumptions about tire pressures, okay? Or tuning or anything like that. So more information is better, I've always said, okay? I did this in autocross all last year. I won my series. I looked like a total fool out there after every run, taking 12 temperature readings after every single time I went out. But it paid off. I was able to tune the car. Very easy to see what was going on. You should also be able to feel this, okay? But especially if you're new, this information is incredibly helpful, right? And experience will help make up for some of these numbers eventually, but if you don't know what you're doing and you're just getting started, this is extremely valuable. So here's what I say. I always say this about naysayers, okay? If people are telling you that what you're doing is silly, that just means you're way ahead of them, okay? If you're not trying something new and trying to get more information, then you're really just wasting your time, okay? If you're not doing this, I highly recommend that you start right now, okay? This is a really valuable thing to be doing.